She was like, hey, do you want to stop by someplace I go to play pool? I was like, okay, cool. And we were there probably about 2.5 hours. And it's the first time I've ever done this. I left her there because she didn't want to leave.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I hinted for about an hour. Then I just directly said, hey, because she's getting drunker and drunker and drunker too. And she didn't know people there, but she was like friendly with everyone, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I basically said, hey, I really want to get going. It's now 9:00. We've been together for like 7 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
Enough is enough.
Exactly. I mean, if it was 5 hours of sex, and whatever. I was just like, hey, do you want to go? She goes, yeah, that's fine. No, I'm going to stay.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the #1 sugar dating podcast in the world. We pull back the curtains on the good, the bad, and Lilly.
The ugly.
The shocking.
Oh.
The absolutely shocking stories
shockers
of sugar dating. And you always have shocking stories.
Yes, I do. I
Yeah.
got good, bad, and ugly stories, and shell shocking.
Shell shocking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Lilly was in another town, and she...
Far, far away, and I just drove in.
Yeah, for this episode. Because your daughter hasn't had the baby yet.
No.
What is she waiting on?
I don't think it's her. I think he's just a stubborn little rascal. He likes it up in there.
Yeah.
It's cozy in the womb.
Yeah, it's safe.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't come out to the big bad world yet where there's all this going on.
A lot of craziness.
Yeah, but I like it. We're having fun. Anyway, a few episodes ago, I released an episode that I've gotten so many comments on, and the numbers have gone off the charts, as I knew they would be, because we talked about a lot of fun things, and we had a great guest, and I told him I wanted him back on the show. So here he is, back on the show. Welcome, Bruce Almighty.
Thank you for having me back, Marcus and Lilly.
You had no idea you were coming back this quickly, huh?
I did not know this morning at 8:00 I'd be back on the show.
Yeah. Did you listen to your episode?
I listened to it. It dropped on Tuesday. I listened to it Tuesday night.
Uh-huh.
And thank you very much for the compliments. I didn't know if I did well or how it went or whatever, but
we had so much fun recording that episode. And if you guys haven't heard it, it's called Plain Sex and Squirting with Bruce Almighty.
Gosh, that was a fun one to edit. I just laughed.
So yeah, as I was doing a synopsis of it for our, to release and listening to it again too for my edits, I almost was falling out of my chair laughing. It was.
Hey, I had so much fun, and listening to it was like taking me back to the experience. I did not stop smiling or laughing throughout the entire episode. It was just fun.
So in that previous episode, you had mentioned that you had met this 29-year-old that you were kind of crazy about. Uh-oh, what's the big sigh for? That was quick.
Well, it's one of those where, and I was getting some advice from my friend that kind of connected me with getting on Seeking to begin with, just try to figure out, because he's much closer in her age than mine, and trying to figure out her mind. I mean, I wasn't getting, the last time I saw her was the second time, and it was absolutely fantastic. And she sent me texts afterwards, and then it was a matter of figuring out when her schedule was available. But it was never getting a firm time to get together. So he suggested I reach out to her and say, hey, invite her to a movie or to drinks or something like that. Get away from the, hey, come over to my condo thing.
Yeah.
Which I did. I basically said, hey, there's a couple of good movies out. Do you want to go to the movie sometime? And she responded immediately, I would absolutely love to.
Well, that was a good sign.
It was a good sign. So I said, when works for you? Which would seem to be a logical follow-up question. And she said, hey, I'm going into work in a little bit. Let me look at my schedule and get back to you. Well, I didn't hear back. So
For how long?
For at least a day or two, probably 2 days.
Yeah, that's not good.
And so 2 days later, I sent her a text, again, per my friend's recommendation. I said, hey, these are two of the movies I'm looking at. Which one would you like to go see? Again, immediately gets back to me and says, whichever one you want, my lover.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because isn't this
That's-
the girl who texted you that she
She-
was head over heels after one date or something?
She says she had butterflies and will work as hard as she can or has to make me feel the same way about her.
So I could see where that would tug on my heart pretty good.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
And that's a good topic of conversation. What do you do when you fall for a sugar baby?
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. What happens when feelings get involved?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So again, with that text, I respond back, do you want to get together tonight? Didn't hear anything back. A few hours later, I decided to text or let me know, Nate, that works for you. And radio silence. It's not good.
No.
You never know what someone else is going through.
Yeah, but obviously, yeah, she's sending mixed signals.
Do you want to know my theory?
I would love to hear.
Is that where it's at right now?
That's exactly where it's at. And my thought is to wait a couple weeks and then maybe try to circle back.
Go ahead, Lily.
My theory is she's juggling multiple things.
Yeah, I mean, that would seem to make sense, even though she was the one who told me when we got together the second time, that she hadn't even been back to the site.
You can't believe everything
No, of course not.
a girl tells you.
Yeah, I think
We're wily.
What we're finding out is most of the girls are juggling multiple sugar daddies
Mm-hmm.
or multiple interests.
Which, hey, let's be candid here.
So is Bruce.
So is Bruce.
Oh, he's an incorrigible flirt.
Wow,
He
yeah.
flirts with me every single day.
Right back at you.
You know, one
I'm
thing.
just responding politely.
See,
Whatever.
I'm in a situation meant.
I know you're in a situation, man. I told you
I'm in an arranged ship.
if you ever need a break from that situationship to save your sanity, I'm there.
You're such a good Samaritan. Thank you.
I'm just trying to do my part. Come on.
So one thing great about Lily is she has various interests in people, right?
All right.
But she still responds to them. Like if they message her,
That's nice.
she'll respond back. I think that's very sweet because I've had situations where I've texted somebody and obviously I was low on the totem pole and I just get ghosted. But Lily doesn't really ghost people.
No, I like to be, unless you deserve to be ghosted, I'm not
Yeah.
going to ghost you. I like to be polite. I like to be honest and straightforward, and I'll just tell you where I'm at.
Yeah, she's super nice at returning text.
But I am flirtatious.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You think?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, come on, girl. You know you want this.
Oh.
It's funny because as she was editing the podcast, she's like, I'm catching more things that he said that I didn't catch the
Yeah, I'm
first
like,
time.
oh, gosh. Bruce Almighty's got a little bit of a depraved mentality going on here.
But I didn't get that from his interview.
I look so innocent.
Oh,
don't I?
Yeah.
really? What was the Catherine the Great comment that you threw in when the
Horse going by.
ceramic stallion went by? I'm like,
Oh.
what?
Yeah, come
See,
on. You have to know some historical references and sex and
Yeah.
all that. Although that's supposedly a rumor.
Yeah.
She never did.
All right. So you're still on the site though, right?
Oh, of course.
And you say, obviously you don't have all your eggs in this basket with this
No.
29-year-old.
I
So
mean,
you're still.
She's the one, though, that definitely is, a female friend said to me, like, 5 years ago, she goes, what's the girl you think of when you go to sleep at night?
Mm-hmm.
Not the one you're doing whatever to.
Yeah.
That may be different. That may be whoever's up on, Pornhub. But anyway.
He looks so
I'm
innocent,
kinda
doesn't he?
Right? He just looks like such a clean-cut American citizen.
I am. I just need that
gosh.
right girl.
Inside though, we're all 12-year-old boys, aren't we?
We are. Well, maybe 14.
Yeah. It just doesn't matter how old we get. And I found that out really quickly as, I play golf at this country club and I socialize with, guys from 21 to 91, right? But we all get along so well and it doesn't matter who you play with and we all joke about the same things.
Oh, exactly.
We're just overgrown boys.
I concur. I've dated enough men of all age ranges. Yes.
Yeah.
You're all little boys.
Yeah. It's hard to get out of that mentality.
Well, let's just put it this way. Girls is such a pleasurable distraction.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Right.
I think girls bring out the little boys in us.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
I mean, I was girl crazy. I can remember being girl crazy in preschool. I remember absolutely just being girl crazy at 4 or 5 years old. I can remember very distinctly just having this want, this desire to have these girls like me, and I liked them. And it's only gotten worse.
How old were you when you got your first kiss?
I was 7th grade on the school bus coming back from some kind of a sporting event or a band trip or something like that.
Was it a French kiss?
It was a French kiss.
Was it so sloppy?
No, she was good. She was this Hispanic girl. I think I've been a sucker for these Latina girls too.
Yes.
Maybe because
Yes, he has.
Because Yolanda Flores
Oh gosh, you just called her out.
gave me the first French kiss in 7th grade, and I was already girl crazy at the time. So, yeah, that was fun.
Damn.
Nice.
Yeah.
My first French kiss was awful.
Was
Also in middle school.
Yeah.
Clearly, it was the first French kiss for both of us, and it was horrible. It was absolutely terrible. I was traumatized. But my first kiss was actually in kindergarten.
Really?
Get out of here.
Kindergarten.
I kissed a first grader.
I kissed somebody, but it was like on the cheek, and then the teacher scolded me and said I didn't need to be doing that.
Well, ours was on the lips, and we had
Whoa.
the God-given sense to hide. But it was just a peck.
The memories we
still.
have, like Lily's in her 50s, I'm in my 50s,
Right.
Bruce is in his early 60s, and we still remember those.
Of course we do. Come
Yeah.
on. There's, I remember the first kiss. I remember the
Let's
first,
hear it.
Yeah, mine was in 5th grade. It was with a girl, Kelly, a very Irish girl. And me and my friends and her friends used to go like running. And it was an excuse for us to go behind this hill in elementary school and to, for my one friend who was in a relationship to make out with a girl. But it kind of became a challenge that those that weren't paired up to pair up with someone. So I paired up with Kelly and started with a kiss on the shoe. And then a kiss on the
Kiss on
lip.
the shoe?
And then became
What?
a kiss on the lips.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
And
Apparently it was.
It was that.
Is there a foot fetish I don't know about?
Yeah, it was not. It was I remember it was a Jack Purcell, if you remember those shoes. I mean, it was not a glamorous shoe at all.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah, good for you. But anyway, my first French kiss was this girl, probably 7th grade. But I remember, and the first French kiss you get, especially if the other person is an experienced French kisser, is just like mind blowing, isn't it?
I wanted more.
Yeah, I think it's probably better than sex the first time.
It certainly got things moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a late bloomer on the sex front. I
Yeah.
didn't have sex until I was 21. I think I told you that last time.
Mm. Yeah, you said it was with your wife.
Well, she was my wife.
She ended up being your
was
wife,
just
yeah.
my crazy girlfriend then, and then
Yeah.
became a crazy wife.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
That happens.
I lost mine fairly late too. I think I was a junior in high school, which in my town, that was late. Yeah. Because I remember being a freshman. Well, I don't know for the guys, but for the girl, I remember being a freshman in high school, and we went through all the popular girls, and we're like, oh yeah, she's not a virgin, she's not a virgin. And there was hardly any virgins, and they were all freshmen in high school.
damn.
I know.
Where'd you go to school?
In Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a small little Texas town.
Yeah.
But I think that's pretty common because there was girls, and I had some younger brothers, and they would tell me, they're like, yeah, this 7th grader's pregnant.
Oof.
There was 8th graders that were pregnant.
Oof.
Yeah. And you actually find that a lot in the bigger cities. Matter of fact, my neighbor, his daughter had 2 babies before she was 16 years old.
Oh my
2.
That's
goodness.
crazy.
Yeah. She's
You
still
think
with the guy, same age as her, but of course they've gone nowhere in life. And they've just been
Yeah.
strapped and
Oof.
just never had any money. He never had a really good job. But yeah, can you imagine being a mother to 2 kids at 16 years old?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, that's not what I'm looking for on
No.
Seeking.
No. No, I don't know why that came up. It's just bringing back memories of starting, some of the people I knew started very young.
Well, my older brother got his first girlfriend pregnant during their freshman year of college. I remember going upstairs to take a bath. For some reason, we took baths instead of showers back then. And I was 3 years younger, so I was still in high school. I was, 16, 15. And I remember him being in the kitchen with my mom. And when I went upstairs, I heard her scream, "Oh, no." And I went down to figure out what it was, and was the guy's girlfriend pregnant.
Mm.
And they were planning she was from a big Catholic family, and she was planning to give the child away adoption.
Yeah.
And it was in the day of that she delivered birth. I remember coming home and seeing my brother with a very confused look on his face. I said, "How'd it go?" He goes, "She couldn't do it. She couldn't give away the child." And my brother was very dead set of what he wanted to do. He was in college and planning to stay in college. And so she broke up with him and said, "Hey, until you're ready to really support this relationship, we're not together." And I remember going with him to drop off cards and gifts and all that stuff. And then he finally decided to take a full-time job and go to school at night. And they're still together. His daughter walked down the aisle when they got married 2 years later. He has an absolutely fantastic family life.
Well, that's good. I remember my mother actually having the talk with me. My dad didn't do it. My mom did. And because she had found some condoms in my glove box. And she's like, so how are you and your girlfriend doing? I was like, good. And she's like, well, you don't want a baby at your age. Your life will completely change. Because I had a nomination to go to the Air Force Academy.
Oh, wow.
I had a golf scholarship also that was presented to me. I ended up taking that because I failed my eye exam. I still could have gone to the Air Force Academy, but I couldn't be Top Gun. I wanted to be Top Gun.
Yeah.
So that was back in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
So I ended up taking the golf scholarship, which is so funny how one little decision in our lives go in completely different directions. If I would have gone through the Air Force Academy, I would have graduated. I'd been in Desert Storm. I'd probably been flying. And it was I don't think we lost very many servicemen during that because we were bombing the hell out of Iraq and stuff.
Right.
But I was like, wow, here I am doing this when if I had taken the other path, I'd probably be over in a war right now.
Right.
It's just one little decision in our lives completely change. Not using protection, getting my girlfriend pregnant. It might have felt good for a moment, but that would completely change your life.
Oh, completely. So did you play golf in college?
I did. Yeah, I had a 4-year scholarship, paid my way through, but I didn't do it very intelligently. I took minimum classes because, by God, I was there to play golf.
Yeah.
I barely squeezed through, and then after 4 years, when I wasn't good enough to go professional, I had to pay for the rest of my university classes, and it was very expensive. So I got a job, and I started just piecing classes together, and then after 10 years, so I did the majority of my credits in 4 years. Then it took another 6 years for me to piece back enough classes to graduate. And they're like, "You're done. Here's your diploma. You're done."
You can't stay in our college for decades.
That's funny.
Get gone.
Yeah. But I was moving around the state of Texas at the time, so I took some classes at UT Permian Basin. I took some classes at Sam Houston State. When I moved to East Texas, I took some classes from some junior college. I was just taking whatever it took. And then here's the bad thing. I took this statistics class. I know this has nothing to do with sugar daddy, but I took the statistics class.
Statistics kind of does.
And that's true. It was tough. I'm good at math. That's not my weak point. I barely got through this thing. I scraped through a C-. I sent it back to my university. They go, "Oh, we didn't need this one."
Oh, that's funny. Do you play golf, Bruce?
I was stressed.
I used to play golf. About 5 years ago, my daughter was getting married back in Virginia. And so for some reason, I decided to take my clubs with me because my future son-in-law was putting together a little golf outing with the groomsmen and the fathers. And on the way back, I had a 6 a.m. flight. And if you travel with golf clubs, you have a little travel bag.
Yep.
And with this travel bag, you had a little head cover to cover the head of the golf clubs. Don't think dirty. And so I got to the airport like 5:30 in the morning. I have half an hour to get to my flight. And I noticed the head cover's off. So I tell the sky cap, can you just throw them in a box or a bag or something? They said they didn't have anything. so I thought to myself, well, my son, who I had been staying with, worked late at night. He was manager at that time, probably a bartender at a restaurant. I'm not going to call him at 5:30 in the morning. He just got home a few hours ago. So I'll just leave him there and then call my land in Arizona and he can pick him up. So I go to the gate. It's American Airlines. And all of a sudden I hear my name across the loudspeaker.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't get on the plane without checking in.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so I go up to the gate attendant. She goes, you have your clothes back there. So I do. I'll get my son to come pick them up. They said, you have two options. I said, okay. She said, you can rebook your flight on a later flight and pay the difference, which was like $1,500. And I also had to get back for a meeting. I had my own business at the time. I really had an important meeting to get back for. Or you can toss them. And so I thought for a second. I said, I'm a better tennis player than I'm a golfer.
And you threw away your clubs?
There's some sky captain that's playing great golf, I'm sure.
Wow. Well, I do want to tie this into being a sugar daddy.
Sure.
Is golf, if you have the opportunity to learn the game, even if you're not good, just take some lessons, learn the basics. It is an unbelievably effective networking tool that will allow you opportunities in life that many other social events don't really allow you. I have gotten so many deals, met so many people, gotten so many investors through golf than any other thing that I've done.
Yeah, it makes sense. You're there 18 hours going around with them.
Yeah, and if you want to find opportunities, expand your net worth, expand your opportunities, learn golf, play at a public muni. You never know who you're going to be paired up with. I joined a country club, which sounds expensive. It's really not. My country club cost me $700 a month.
Get out of here.
Yeah, that's
nothing.
And I'm literally
Compared
playing
to
golf.
many, right?
Right. I'm literally playing golf with guys who are billionaires. Like one guy that I play golf with, he owns so many luxury apartment complexes here in town, and he gives jobs to a lot of the guys at the club, like air conditioning contracts, drywall contracts,
from a business standpoint. You're
things
right.
like that. As they play golf with him, he goes, "What do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, well, I own a tile company or something." He goes, "Oh, well, we're building a 850 unit complex. Why don't you bid out the tile for this job?"
Is that the guy that flies you private to Flagstaff for the day?
Yeah, that's the same guy. Yeah, he has his own private plane, and many times we've jumped on his plane, and he'll say, "Hey, let's go play golf in, somewhere that's 3 hours away, drive, and we're there in 20 minutes."
You'll have to tell me the name of the club offline.
Yeah, that I'm a member of.
Yeah.
And, we have professional golfers that are there. You just never know who you're going to play golf with. I remember being in 8th grade, my mother, who was a very wise person, and she told me the same thing. You need to learn this game because literally you could play golf with the president of the United States or you could play golf with a local plumber. You never know. And it's something you can do the rest of your life as long as injury doesn't keep you out of it, which it's not a very physical sport. There is some swinging ball, but we have guys at our club, and it's great exercise too. We have guys at our club that are in their 90s who walk 18 holes, which is about a 5.5 mile walk. And that's what their exercise is, every day that they walk out there. So I'm a big proponent of learning the game. It's not for everybody, but for networking purposes, it's just unbelievable.
My sugar daddy has played multiple times with a retired Boston Celtics guy that lives in his community.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
One of the guys at our club was a catcher for, I don't remember which professional team. He caught one of Nolan Ryan's 7 no-hitters.
Oh, wow.
And then another guy at our club was a batting coach for the New York Yankees, Los Angeles Dodgers, and other teams. So you just never know what kind of people that you're going to meet, what stories you're going to hear, what opportunities you're going to come across.
Right.
It's really, I can't express enough like what the game has done for my life because it's become more than a game.
Right.
Have you ever dated anyone you've met at the club?
there's unfortunately women are underrepresented in the game. I really believe that more women need to take up the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My sugar daddy just bought me golf clubs.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm terrible.
You know what's
He says I have potential.
I want to see a video of Lily on the golf course.
now
I wanna see that.
our original co-host Amy, who was on a couple episodes ago, she actually got a job driving the beer cart at our country club.
I dated a beer cart girl.
Men were throwing money at her.
Oh,
Literally,
no.
like she would come home with $500 to $1,000 in tips every day.
This girl made more money doing that, and she
Yeah.
was a single mom, and she was cleaning up.
Yeah.
She's a lot of fun.
Now there was a
Pickleball's my new passion
pickleball.
now.
Love pickleball. But there's a retired plastic surgeon that I played golf with the other day.
Right.
And he asked me about Amy. He was
Oh,
so
wow.
infatuated, not with like her beauty, but like her drive. And he found out what she did. Like she's in, I can't really say, but she's in a management program that not many women are in. And he was very impressed that she would get into this field and learn how to excel at this certain field. And so that impressed him. And I guarantee you, if she ever needed anything, she could call him up and he would do whatever he could to support her, to get her in contact with somebody that he knew or whatever, because he has a wide network of people.
Yeah, it's all about your network.
Yeah, so maybe you don't play golf, but maybe you work at a golf course.
Yeah, I can play. I mean, I just need to get new clubs. Or, believe me, I sent a bunch of emails to American Airlines. They weren't really responding to that one.
Right, right.
Okay, so
whatever.
Marcus, I saw you went to Medieval Times.
Oh, yes.
Who did you take to that?
I took my main sugar baby,
Your main squeeze?
my main squeeze.
Did
Yeah,
she love it?
absolutely. And you know what? Something she told me, which I pride myself on. She says, I've never gone out on a bad date with you.
That's true.
That's the biggest compliment you
And
can get.
I got that from my previous one, because after we broke up, she started dating around. And then we had drinks like 6 months later, just kind of catch up. And she's like, you need to write a manual or a book or something. I said,
should.
about what? She said, about dating. These guys don't know how to date.
You could do it.
Like she said, you always take me on the best dates and we have the best time. And I really miss that.
Did you go down onto the dirt and actually participate in a
Oh yeah. We jousted. Yeah.
He hopped up on that stallion.
Yeah. No, the sad thing is our guy in our section, because you have all these different color sections. And I think there was 6. You have the black and white,
Right.
warrior or whatever they call them. And then ours was red and yellow, and then you got blue and green. Anyway, our guy sucked. I know it's all scripted, but he
Should have
lost.
shown him how it's done.
He lost every fight.
According to some people, the NFL scripted.
Well, yeah. No, it's a lot like World Wrestling Federation, but the WWF. But it's a lot of fun, and the horses are beautiful. Yeah. Oh my God! If you have a chance to see one of those shows, I do recommend it, because the horses, a lot of them are like white and gray.
It's beautiful.
With the manes that are just perfectly manicured, and the dances that they do and the steps that they take that are so trained. It's very entertaining. So that is a great date idea, man, if you want to take a sugar
Horses
baby.
love horses too, don't they?
You should do some extra sugar episodes about just dating ideas.
I've done a few of those. I've gotten a letter from a lady that scolded me because I hadn't put an extra sugar out in a while, and she's really looks forward to those.
I've got a horse recommendation for you.
Okay.
There's an equine therapy farm in Scottsdale,
Mm-hmm.
and you can just stop by and volunteer and take one of your sugar babies there.
Mm-hmm.
She'll see the horses and love the horses, and your charitable heart aspect of it will definitely shine.
Well, here's some other dates that we've done and that we're going on. We went to the Barrett Jackson car auction.
Right.
And she'd never been to that, so that was an incredible time. Now, you talk about pieces of art, rolling art. Those cars are absolutely beautiful. A lot of them selling for millions, multi-millions of dollars.
And I missed out because I thought I was having a grandchild.
So that's a good dating idea if you have some kind of a car auction in your town that comes by. Always a good time. And then, when the professional golfers come to town, we've got a big tournament coming here, the Phoenix Open. And that's the biggest party in the world. Well,
there's a golf tournament associated with that?
No.
Yeah.
750,000 people.
Yeah, that's going to be more of a...
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they set these tents up, and you get a ticket to the suite, and it's all you can eat, all you can drink all day. So
Sounds dangerous.
take your camera. Of course, you got to put it on silent, but take lots of videos, and they could be YouTube gold.
Yeah. Have you ever taken a sugar baby to the Renaissance Festival?
Yep, done the Renaissance Festival.
It's pretty fun.
That's far out there. That's like halfway.
Yeah,
to
but you know
nowhere.
what? The girls like that stuff.
Do they really?
I'm not a big fan of it because I
I've
I
been
can't
enough
understand
times, it's
half
not
of
that
the things they
exciting for
said.
me. But it's fun to go with someone who's never been.
Yeah. So those are some good dating ideas. We have a couple ghost towns, like old Western ghost towns here in the edges of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Those are also great dating ideas.
Great
I wouldn't recommend a movie, though.
No, movies, you're just sitting there.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
sitting there. You can't carry on a conversation
Gosh,
during a
the
movie.
last two
Yeah.
movies a guy took me to were both horrible. Never let the guy pick the movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I think I've probably gone on maybe 2 movie dates, but that was with somebody that I've already established a connection with. It's not like a first or second or even 5th date, because you want to be able to get into an environment where you can talk. Playing pool is a lot of girls.
It's interactive.
They love playing pool. They love going bowling, top golf, things like that.
I actually took a sugar baby. We went out to lunch. Went out to like lunch and drinking.
Mm-hmm.
We started at maybe noon. And then it was, maybe we started a little bit later in the afternoon. And then she was like, hey, do you want to stop by someplace I go to play pool? I was like, okay, cool. And we were there probably about 2.5 hours. And it's the first time I've ever done this. I left her there because she didn't want to leave.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, I hinted for about an hour. Then I just directly said, hey, because she's getting drunker and drunker and drunker too. And she didn't know people there, but she was like friendly with everyone, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, I basically said, hey, I really want to get going. It's now 9:00. We've been together for like 7 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
Enough is enough.
Exactly. I mean, if it was 5 hours of sex, and
Yeah,
I was just like, hey, do you want to go? She goes, yeah, that's fine. No, I'm going to stay. And she wanted to go out again. I was like, no. I mean, I don't like leaving people behind. It's the first time ever.
Wow.
So, but what do you do in that situation, Marcus? What do you do when you're,
Was she significantly younger than you?
she wasn't one of the younger ones. She was
What was the age gap?
probably 15, 20. No,
Yeah.
probably 20.
Yeah, you were probably tired and she was just getting started.
It wasn't being tired. It was being bored. I mean, we had won all the pool games, blah, blah, blah. And also the fact that she was getting drunker and drunker.
So I do have a story. I did leave somebody. I just remembered, and it was bad. So I had met this girl earlier in the week. This was around mid-December, and I met her on a Tuesday, and we had a great time. She was a little tiny Hispanic girl, just my type.
Do you like this Hispanic?
Yeah, I
girls?
do like the brown girls. So we met at the casino here, and they had like these outdoor fire pits. And so we just sat outside, put our feet up by this fire pit, had some drinks, and had a great time. Thursday, we met again at the casino, and we just talked and had a great time. And I really was starting to, be infatuated with her a little bit. So I said, hey, I know we've already seen each other twice this week, but tomorrow is our country club party. And this was kind of this was one where it's it's not like a formal one. It's just a drunk fest. They have open bar. They have karaoke. They got a dance floor, hors d'oeuvres, and things like that. And they've got like little raffles. Just a fun event, right? Very intimate, small, fun event. So I said, hey, I'd love for you to come to the party with me. And trust me, she was going to be the best looking girl there, and I was going to feel like $1 million with this girl on my arm, and she agreed. So we get there. Oh my God, this is so bad. See, I didn't know her very well.
Right.
So we get there. Unbelievable. She had this gold shimmering little cocktail dress on, her hair done, long curled. She gets out of the car, but she had fireball shots, and her brother had dropped her off. Like he drove up, and I walked
In a big
out.
pickup truck, right?
And so they were doing fireball shots in the car. And I was like, oh, hey, how are you? She goes, I just had a couple shots to loosen up. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. I mean, I'm sure she was nervous. So we go, and she was just very nervous because she was around all these country club people, and it was not her environment, right?
Right.
So she started drinking and drinking and drinking, and she started getting really fucked up. And there was another guy there, and he'd brought some kind of less than, let's just say, a little shady characters with him, kind of guys that looked like they were from the hood a little bit.
Right.
Well, she found her people, right?
Oh my God.
So she started hanging out with them.
And this is your club.
And so she started hanging out with them on the patio. And I go to the bathroom, or I go to get her some more food, and I come out, and she's like literally twerking on some guy's lap.
Oh,
And I'm just like, you know what?
Dear
Here's your.
God.
I'm at, like now. This was a few hours into this thing, and I was starting to get pretty annoyed. But she had pretty much ditched me for these other guys from the hood, right? So I said, you know what? I'm out of here. See ya. And I lived close by, so I left. And I thought, well, I told the guy, I said, she's all yours. You take care of her, right? Well, apparently she got even drunker, got into the dance floor, took over the dance floor, twerking, doing all this stuff on the dance floor. I get this call from one of the members, the wives. Where are you at? You brought this girl here. You need to come get her. I was like, what? She's still there? I didn't even know she was still there. So I come up, and then she walks out of the little clubhouse onto the patio, and there's like a tall little cocktail table, like a little 2-seater cocktail table. She stumbles. She tries to put her hand on top of it. The whole thing comes crashing down. All the chairs come crash. She is so stumbling drunk. I'm just like, oh my God. So I call her brother and I go, hey, I can't remember how I got his number. Anyway, I said, you need to come pick her up right now. And so he came and he picked her up. I was so embarrassed. I was just like.
Well, you did say you wanted to make an impression.
I had no idea. I knew the sweet, soft side of her. I didn't know the absolute wasted side of her. And
third date.
Yeah, third day. I found that out real
the
quick.
Masks come off.
Yeah. I still get teased about that one from some of the people that are like, you're not bringing another girl like you did a few years ago, did you?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Well, didn't you have to
she
leave
made quite
someone
a
in
scene.
Vegas too?
Leave somebody in Vegas? Oh, I did
ditch
leave somebody.
somebody
I
in Vegas.
did.
Did you take them to Vegas?
Yeah, she wrecked my car.
Well, okay.
And she got
people have accidents.
And she got
Marcus.
so fucked up on Xanax.
Oof.
Yeah, and that was part of it.
So you left her in the county jail.
No, she had some relatives there or something, and I just said, I just said, look, I gotta go. And it was a bad situation. It was somebody. So I had been messaging with her. This was years ago, but I still have bad memories of it. So we'd been messaging back and forth. We never had met. So I said, well, and she goes, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I said, actually, I'm driving to Vegas. And she says, oh, I have some relatives in Vegas. Can I come along? I'm like, oh, sure.
Nice.
So I picked her up from a convenience store on the west side of town.
Boom, right there.
There was your first
Red flag.
That should have been my first red flag. And anyway, she gets in the car. She was cute. She had a good personality. We started.
Wait. Roll this back for a second.
Yeah.
You committed to taking someone to Vegas that you had not met in person yet.
Yep. And yeah.
Marcus.
I know.
Marcus.
Oh, I lived on the wild side. That's for damn sure. So I pick her up. We talk, and she's completely sober, right? And she's like, well, I really like you. I'm like, yeah, you're fun. And she starts holding my hand, like it's a 5.5 hour drive, 5 hours. And I'm like, wow, this girl's really, I don't know. She seemed to be hitting the right spots, right? So then she said, hey, I was playing some poker tournaments. That's the reason I was going. I said, look, I got to play these poker tournaments. What are you going to do today? She goes, well, my friend lives out here, but I don't have a car. Do you mind if I borrow your car? And I can go see my friend. And I'm like, and I had a rental car, right?
Oh, thank God.
So she took it. And then she just was like starting to act really strange and like all fucked up. So come to find out, and I go, what is the matter? Oh, I just did a Xanax and I just needed something to relax. Anyway, she did a lot of Xanax. So a couple of days later, I'm about done. I think it was like Sunday by this time, and then I started on Friday. So I get this call, and I'm in the poker tournament, and she's calling me. And she calls. I break. I said, what is the matter? She goes, somebody broke into the car, and they broke a window and all this stuff. And I'm like,
where did her friend live?
What? She goes, yeah, they broke the back window. And so then I'm like, okay, well, and then she said they took some stuff, and Anyway, so she drives the car and picks me up. So I'm looking, back window is broken. I'm like, all right, I'll just take it. I can get a replacement window at the junkyard. So I end up just leaving her there. Like, she went back to her uncle's or something. I said, look, I got to go. This is, not going well, so I'll see you. I drive back. I go to the junkyard. I get the window. I fix it. And I'm like, oh, I'm pretty proud of myself, right?
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I would just drop it off at the rental car.
Marcus is very handy.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy.
He fixes my vehicles all the time.
I got like a window for like $50 at the junkyard or
Good for
something.
you.
I put it in, no problem. So I drive to my friend's house, and I'm about to take it back to the airport to drop the rental car off. And I drive up, and I get out, and he goes, dude, what the happened to you, the front of the car? And I'm like, what? And I go to the front of the car. I don't see anything. He goes, I said, where? He goes, under. And sure enough, the whole underside was scratched. It was caved in. It was all messed. It was completely just, for some reason. So what she did, this is what she did. Her and her friend broke the back window to distract me so I wouldn't notice the front part of the car.
Okay, there's a lesson in this song. Like
well,
12.
Yeah, there was a lot of lessons there. So I've
What
done
would
some.
the Chinese farmer say?
Good things happen, or bad things happen for good reasons sometimes. I mean, yeah, I did learn a hard lesson there. It ended up costing me, I think the rental car company ended up charging me like close to $900 to get everything fixed, but which actually was not too bad, but it was bad.
You never get the rental insurance, right?
No, well,
No, everyone says no.
Yeah, because I had $1,000 deductible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I had to end up paying, but
Right.
that was a sugar baby trip to Vegas gone wrong.
I want to hear about Lily's experiences, because I'm sure you've had,
With what? With ditching someone?
you would never be ditched. My God.
Oh, I don't know. If, I'd have to
what's
think
been
about
your
that.
worst experience?
Well, you have 4 more minutes. Should we talk about you or should we talk about me? I did have to
Boy,
leave.
the time flies.
Oh,
I had to one
it
time
really
leave
does.
my husband in a town on the way back from the Renaissance Festival.
You had to do what?
Leave my husband
Oh.
at a Burger King.
What?
Dang.
Well, we drove 3 hours to the Renaissance Festival. He drank beer on the way up, took a whole ice chest of beer in the trunk because he didn't want to pay for the expensive beer at the Renaissance Festival.
The beers are like $3 there.
So here's me enjoying the Renaissance
No, they're
Festival,
more than that.
and he would just bebop back to the car, slam a beer, and come back. Well, he was just getting more and more drunk and obnoxious and belligerent, and I kind of just started doing my own thing. I was like, you know what? Let's just kind of do our own thing because I'm not really down for the way you're acting in public. Finally, he gets so bad, we just decide to leave. And of course, I've got to drive home because he is plastered. And he's pissed that I made him leave. And I'm like, well, I'm not having fun because you're being obnoxious, belligerent, stumbling around. It's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
So that pissed him off. So he just went off, berated me, my family, everyone I'd ever known in my entire life, my very existence. So I turn up the radio really loud to drown him out because I'm tired of hearing him bitch at me. He pulls out the pistol that we always traveled with from under the seat and takes the butt of the gun and hammers the radio until it won't work anymore.
Whoa.
I finally just decide, good God, I'm in a dangerous situation. I'm just going to shut my mouth and just drive. And so we get to the next town and I'm like, I really have to go to the bathroom. He's like, yeah, so do I. So when he gets out to go to the bathroom, I just took off and left him there.
Really?
Yeah. We were still an hour and a half from home and he had to call his parents to come get him. I was terrified.
Wow.
He was being violent. And,
No, that was the right move to
and
do.
he had PTSD. And so
Yeah.
How quickly did you file for divorce after that?
Oh, it was probably a minute or two. Yeah. You know, you love someone, you want to believe it's never going to happen again. You want to forgive them.
Trust me, my first marriage she was abusive to me.
Yeah. Mine was highly toxic. But yeah, I did leave somebody somewhere. Stranded.
No one would ever leave
But he
you,
deserved
though.
it, right?
No one would ever leave those blue eyes.
Oh, gosh. I've probably been ditched. I just don't remember right now. So you got to get going to a meeting.
I do. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, we grabbed Bruce at the last minute, and he
Yeah,
does have some
anytime.
commitments, but
Anytime
we told you we wanted you back, and we got you back.
I appreciate it. You guys are awesome, and I appreciate being here, and thank you very much.
Yeah, keep us informed on how sugar dating is going for you.
I have some stories I could have told today, which I've held back. So
Really?
Why did you do that?
because we got off on talking about
Boring
other
stuff like
It-
golf. Good
interrupt me.
God, never make me talk about golf again.
I just tell you about the, there's
Feel
some
free to
interesting
interrupt.
Stories, definitely.
Oh,
Okay.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks, Bruce. And thank you, Lily.
Well, let's do what after he takes off. Let's do a couple. I want to talk about what not to do.
Okay, let's
Because
hear it.
I've had some
We've got a
awful
few
things.
minutes.
Okay, so part of my duties as assigned is to recruit people for our show so that we get a wide variety of guests and experiences and whatnot. And so I still am on Seeking. I am very candid with people about, well, I'm in a situationship, I don't know, arrangement
Yeah.
situation. But I said, I'm really interested in people's experiences on the site. And so, would you want to get together for coffee and share your stories and possibly think about coming on our podcast and telling us what you got going on with sugar dating? And so I give this one guy my Google Voice number, and he seemed fine on the site. He seemed polite, conversational. The minute I give him my Google Voice number, the first thing he says is stunning woman, which, okay, that's fine. You can say that. And I say, so let's have your story. And he says, call me, which I don't because I was busy. And so his next message is, are you getting a toy ready? I'm like, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh my goodness, let's get right to it.
And then he goes, you are beautiful. I'm like, ugh. And he says, question mark. I go, I am not feeling it. Your banter could use some work. Good luck to you. So then I don't actually hear from him until like the next morning. And he's all, you awake? I'm all, yup. He's all, you in the mood? Oh, well, I literally can't. Why not? I just do like the slapping yourself in the head emoji, like shaking my head. I can't with you. I said, at least try to pretend you're interested in a woman beyond sex, you filthy animal. He goes, I am interested. I go, I'm out. I'm blocking you. Enroll yourself in Charm School, please. So guys, don't just come at a woman with sexual innuendo or dick pics. Come on. Have a little charm. Have a little tact. Have a little finesse, because you are not going to get anywhere. No matter how
I don't know what they're
wealthy you
thinking.
are.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I know you guys show me some of these messages, and I shake my head thinking, where do they think they're going to go with this?
I just wanted to rant about that one.
Yeah.
I'm still toying with the guy that you told me his profile is fake. The guy that doesn't spell anything right and can't.
Because you think he's got some special needs.
Yeah. So the only photo that he has on Seeking, he's obviously disfigured.
Mm-hmm.
And he says it's from being in because he's talked to me once in the distant past. He said it was from being disfigured in a car accident. But to me, it almost looks like maybe some kind of disfiguration from birth defects or something. And he's really been messaging me. And
I want you to meet him.
I screenshot it to my friends, and they're like, this is a fake.
Right.
I'm like, it is? Why? Tell me why you thought it was fake.
Well, because the English was so bad.
It's so bad.
It sounds like a foreigner.
Can't spell, can't form a cohesive sentence.
Right. How does a guy like that have money?
He sends me pictures because I've really been trying to get to the bottom of, is this just a real person with disabilities, or is this just some kind of fake guy doing something weird for fun? But he sends me a picture of his bulldog, Dozer. And then he sends me another picture of his bulldog. But it's obviously a different bulldog.
Oh.
The one has like a patch around its eye, and the other one doesn't. And I'm like, do you have two bulldogs? He's like, no, just one.
His story is getting a little bit.
I think the guy's really, really lonely and really, really special. but to be determined.
All right. Well, I want to end this on a letter. This one is kind of interesting, and we might be exploring with this person further. But it says, "Hi, Marcus, Lily, and Kimmy. Loved the episode with a married sugar baby. I am also a married sugar baby, or at least I want to be, and I need your help. My situation is completely different from your previous guest in that my husband is totally on board. Last summer, he suggested we open my end of the relationship. It's not a cuckold thing. He just gets off on the idea of his wife being a slut. And I had far fewer sexual adventures before we got together, so I guess after a decade of marriage, I should get to catch up. Plus, he has a bit of extracurricular fun too, but that's another story. Anyway, I started regularly hook up with a friend of ours, but when I learned about sugar dating and your podcast, I knew it was something I wanted to try. My husband makes good money, so I do not need support, but we have young kids and are focused on building a sound financial future for ourselves and our children. The idea of a man who is free to spend money on my more frivolous desires is both appealing and arousing. I'm having a bit of a hard time finding an arrangement. I wondered if you might be interested in chatting with me to help me workshop my profile on the site and improve my text flirting skills. My husband could join too if you're interested in this perspective. So far, I've met one guy from the site in person, but as you've mentioned in many of your episodes, he's one of the newer guys on the site who is just looking to hook up and not really seeking an arrangement. I'm not really into flings. I need there to be a connection that grows over time. Sugar dating seems like a great vehicle to find that. I realize the whole married with kids thing may throw some guys, so I just put it out there in my profile. Plus, I don't have time to waste messaging guys that aren't cool with this. At 40 years old, I'm also not the youngest woman on the site. But I've heard from some guys that they prefer someone a little older, and the idea of a happily married sugar baby who clearly is only interested in fun is appealing to them. But alas, I just can't get a real arrangement off the ground. Any insights you can provide would be greatly appreciated. And if you think this would be a fun episode, we're game. What do you think?
Get them on here.
Yeah, we're going to have to explore that one further. So we love
We can
getting
help her
letters
with her
from
profile.
our listeners. So we'd love to hear your sugar dating questions and stories and comments at our website at secretsofasugardaddy.com. Please follow us on Instagram at the same name, Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Lily, thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome. We'll
Now-
help you with your profile. Come
Yeah.
on our show.
Yeah, there you go. All right, until next episode. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.